So here we are at drivebytruckers at the Orange Peel, right? We're at the Orange Peel in Asheville, North Carolina. I was at a funeral today on the other side of Georgia, and my friends who live in North Carolina texted me and said, "Do you want to come up to Asheville and go to this show tonight?" And I said yes, and I didn't even pack a bag. This is just these clothes. I'm spending the night. I'll drive back to Atlanta tomorrow.
When you said the other side of Georgia.
So I was kind of on the other side of the mountains. I was at the Alabama border near, where was I? I was in Lyerly, Georgia. It took 6 hours to get here.
That's where the funeral was.
Yeah.
But you live in Atlanta.
But I live in Atlanta.
Is it a fun drive? I heard it's kind of fun.
It's a long drive.
As far as driving, no, I'm saying like driving through in Atlanta, the traffic, like it's pretty fun. Like,
in Atlanta? Yeah, if you live in Atlanta, you don't drive in traffic.
You love it.
No, you just don't get on the interstate. You don't get on. You know your way around.
Okay, but what about working? I lived in Atlanta.
I don't know. I'm self-employed, so I plan it all out.
So what about someone that might live in Atlanta and works in Sandy Springs?
They should find another job.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah, they should find another job.
15-minute drive away in Atlanta is so bad during rush hours that it's
just
not
get
worth
another job. It's not worth the 90 days of your life a year that you spend in traffic. No, the cool thing about Atlanta is what people don't know about it.
Tell us.
It's a very small town. Everybody knows everybody.
It's not that small.
It is a super small town. Everybody knows everybody. Yeah, you're like 2 degrees of separation away from every other person in Atlanta.
You from Atlanta?
No, but I lived there a long time.
Where are you from?
Tennessee.
Where about?
Manchester, where they have bonnaroo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but they didn't have bonnaroo when I was growing up there.
Right. That's too bad.
I think, yeah, pretty much. we didn't do fun. Fun wasn't part of my childhood experience.
People from Bonnaroo brought something good to that town. I mean, you know.
I think so.
It's not that often. It's once a year, but
they spend a little money there, and
I'm sure it certainly has to help the economy. There's negatives, it's also all of a sudden crazy traffic and all that, but locals, whatever. I'm sure
I've actually never been. My mother works for the mayor. So she gets free tickets. My mother's been to Bonnaroo.
Your mother what?
It works for the mayor in Manchester. But I've never been to Bonnaroo, but she has.
Huh.
And she just complains about how far away she has to park from the actual event.
It's like a mile walk or something.
Yeah, and she's 70-something, so.
It's a far walk for anyone.
Yeah, kind of.
Let alone a 70-year-old.
In June, in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Hot as hell.
It's hot as hell. I want to go, but then festivals.
You used to do them though, right?
Yeah, but no, now I'm like.
What's your favorite festival experience that you've had? Talk about that. I've gotten to see a lot of people play because I used to have some friends that owned a music venue in Atlanta, and I used to work backstage. Because I'm a garden designer. I used to work backstage at one of the venues. I kept a vegetable garden so that my friend who was the caterer could have fresh vegetables for the crew. Like for the bands and for the roadies and all the people on the buses. It was Lakewood. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I actually live very near there. I live in Lakewood. I think my coolest experience was I ate dinner with David Bowie and Amon one night. And so really I just ate at the same table with them and we ate the same food. I was terrified of talking to them.
How many other people were at the table?
Just the 3 of us. Great big giant table.
There was zero conversation? Come on, there had to be.
Hi, how are you?
Food's good.
Good, food's good. Enjoy your evening. He was playing with 9 Inch Nails.
Who cares? Who cares that you had zero conversation with him?
No, I know. It was enough. It was enough just to sit there. So when I travel, whenever anybody asks me about Atlanta, like, what's it like? I'm like, so In town, it's kind of a combination of New Orleans and Portland. And outside of town, it's Dallas-Fort Worth.
Right.
It's just like, no, it's
between Atlanta and Dallas, and the fact that like Athens and Austin,
kind of have that thing, yeah. But inside the perimeter, like if you're in the right neighborhoods, Atlanta's cool as shit. And we don't advertise that. Nobody knows it.
Like Decatur, Little Five is cool.
No, Little Five is not cool. See, that's the thing. That's the place that we say is cool, so that people will go there.
Yeah, but those neighborhoods over there, like Candler Park.
No, you're right. They're good neighborhoods. Inman Park, which has gone crazy.
So I lived in, I don't know if it was Inman or Candler, but it was so close to Little Five. It was on one of the streets that is Little Five, but like.
What street?
Where the streets that are Euclid.
Oh yeah. Euclid is.
Like 1322.
Yeah, Euclid is. In a bit, where you're in a big, like where the big houses are.
No, one of those apartments.
So you were in Candler, you were in Candler Park.
Candler.
I don't know. Atlanta's all right. I think, in some ways, I think Atlanta's the future. I'm a gay dad. I've got 2 kids, right? That we're raising in Southeast Atlanta, completely diverse. We're in a completely black neighborhood. They go to school in a really diverse school. Atlanta's the future of America.
It needs better, lots of stuff, but public transportation.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to have that because people like to drive.
It's not just that. It's the fact that
there's really good music and you can have it in your car.
It's the politics. To me, it's
the politics
it's the outside of Atlanta politics. It's the state of Georgia's politics.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. No, as a gay person, I can tell you it's terrible. But we live in this. We totally live in the bubble.
You're right. You have an added thing, but really like that thing, like the bad public transportation is because of black people.
Oh yeah, it's racism.
It's not their fault.
No, it's racism. It's people not wanting black people to come to their neighborhood.
But then it does hurt everyone in Atlanta. It hurts everyone in Atlanta. That specific racism has hurt everyone in this major city.
So my insurance company, State Farm, is canceling my insurance on my house that I've lived in for 23 years.
Jeez.
Because they sent an inspector down, and the inspector said I need to cut down all my landscaping for security reasons. So my insurance agent is up in the mountains in Dawson County, and he says, and it's complicated why I still have him as an insurance agent, but he says, do you live in a black neighborhood? And I said, yeah. And he said, oh yeah, that's why they want you to cut down your landscaping, because they think that it's not safe there in a black neighborhood. So you need to do it to keep your insurance. It's bullshit. And I have white privilege. Like I get to drive home, and they're pulling there's like a roadblock. Everybody's getting pulled over, but I've got pot in my car, and they see that I'm white, and they wave me through.
Right. I know that. When I drive around, I'm like, you know what? I haven't gotten pulled over in so long, and I take it for granted. It is total white privilege.
It's totally white privilege.
Because I would have gotten pulled over whether for speeding or for just bullshit.
It's white privilege that your kids can walk to school without being torn apart by wild dogs. That's the part of Atlanta I live in. Yeah, right,
So you go through some of it, but you still have you still have enough white privilege where...
Well, it's to survive it.
But then if you're black, it's not just that. You can't escape.
Nope, you can't. And I live in that neighborhood where I get to see these kids grow up, and a lot of them don't get out of the neighborhood. Some of them do. And that's interesting to see what the difference is.
Because there's obviously incredible success stories in the Atlanta black community.
Well, you know who kind of figures out who gets out of the neighborhood, or kids that figure out early on that they're good at something and that they like it. And they figure out how to do that thing, and they get out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good lesson for everybody who wants to get out of whatever kind of metaphorical neighborhood they're in.
Those are the super talented kids.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's not fair to the rest of the people that aren't necessarily super talented but are still good people.
Nope.
And they suffer from
everything
else.
It's not. So then when I'm in here and I'm like, it's an all white crowd, and this band is controversial because they're sort of screaming at racists. And I see all these white faces that are like really, that are passionate about that. The guy's got, the drummer's got, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so this is a really interesting white experience that I'm having right now.
Yeah, it is. The band, their message is an interesting message.
It is.
Coming from what it looks and sounds like and appears to be.
That's right. That's right. And they're not radically, they're not radical in the South.
Yeah, he's intelligent. Patterson's very intelligent, and he's passionate. He's a good person, and he's trying to bring light to, and sometimes it's bringing light to Southern white people that get looked at as racist when in fact they're not. They're just poor.
Yeah.
And, a lot of them, But then at the same time, he'll be like,
I'm from a poor Southern family. It's complicated.
Right.
But
that's his whole thing.
It's complicated.
Everything's different.
Everybody loves it. I want the next song that they write to be called "Everybody Loves Their Grandma." you no matter what your grandma, when you're growing up and it's her biscuits you're eating and you're sitting on her lap and she's singing songs to you and reading stories, she's your grandma. When you get older and your grandma says the N-word every other word, and that actually wasn't my grandmother, but I'm just like, my grandmother wasn't like that at all. But I'm just saying, as a Southerner, I think it's complicated because you love people who hate people.
Right.
And where do you find yourself in that place? Would you?
I asked this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just was wondering if you wanted your phone back.
I want to make sure it's going.
Yeah.
Welcome to Student of Life, the game show.
That was recorded outside the Orange Peel in Asheville, right before drivebytruckers show, all about Atlanta. Next up, Words with Friends.
That's so hard because I feel like language is changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
So like the word literally, like the definition of literal has literally changed to mean the opposite of the word literal.
Yeah.
So that now literal means figurative. It's fucking bullshit. But then
So now use it. Okay, but then.
so like it's bullshit, but then at the same time it's fascinating because language is so alive.
Right. Now use it in a sentence.
I literally can't hear myself think over these motorcycles. But also, that's literally the loudest thing I've ever heard. So that's both literal and figurative. See?
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
That's a good one. That was good.
And now we'll talk to my cousin about his experience at a Grateful Dead reunion show in Wrigley Field.
Last third day of the Fare Thee Well tour, and friends invited us. It was at Soldierfield, and I always forgot because it had been so long since I've been to one, which I never really went to that many to begin with. But that we got there and there were guys in our seats, which I forgot that it doesn't really matter where you sit, and people were seat warmers and all that. So hey, we're in our seat. She had just torn her ACL. So she was literally on crutches with her cast, okay? Or walking cast. And the guy's like, hey, what's up? So I'm like, hey, you're in our seats. And the guy was like, it's okay, peace, it's cool. I'm like, okay. He goes and sits right in the stands, right, we're on the tier, the mezzanine tier. So he's standing right in the aisle, doing the whole first set, right? And I'm like, hey, we can't even get out. You're standing here, come on, you're in our seats, now you're just moving over to sit over there, it's kind of BS. And so I'm like, whatever. We get out at halftime. The guy was really annoying the whole first act. He was out of his mind too. We get back, the second half starts, we're kind of coming down the steps, and she's really going slow with her crutches, and we had just met her the whole thing before.
Fast in my world.
The second act's about to start, so he hears this song's about to play up. He comes barreling down the aisle again, knocks her over. Okay? Then goes right to our seats again. So I was like, hey, buddy. I said, not okay. I said, you've got three choices, okay? You can either leave, You can go to your seats wherever they are, or I'm gonna punch you in the face.
But you didn't tell him about the fourth option, which wound
He's
up
like,
happening.
hey man, why are you trying to ruin my buzz? And eventually he went back to his seat.
But you gave him the Volt.
So then I grabbed him by the neck.
And what's it called?
The Vulcan Death Grip.
Okay.
That's, the kids go like paralyzed. So I give him the Vulcan Death Grip. I pulled him out to the aisle. I put him back up where his seat was. And you want to sit back in your seat.
I'm sure he never came back.
No, he never came back.
And to close out today's program, this is my friend Jocelyn and Brooke, and we talk about an experience where I was trying to help someone out because they left their door ajar at a park where we were going hiking, but the guy thought I was up to no good.
I think I remember the car next to us having like the door was kind of ajar, and I think I saw it too, and I remember you were like kind of debating on like, should I close it, should I leave it, should I close it, and I think you just like decided to do it. And I guess as the guy was walking up, he kind of was like thinking something was suspicious was happening, I guess, and kind of questioned us about it, and you're like, no, seriously, like this is what I was doing, and told him honestly what was going on. And I think he believed it after a bit, but
And then he apologized, right?
And then I think he did say, oh yeah, okay, like he got it. I didn't hear the whole conversation. But
Yeah. And so here's where do you have anything to add to that, Jocelyn? You think she was spot on there?
Yeah.
I think she had some errors. All right. I did not shut the door. I was debating, like you said, you're correct on that part, but
yeah, I
didn't shut it because I was concerned that the alarm would maybe go off.
Right. I remember that.
So
too.
I decided not to, but he still saw my fingertips on it, and he was
okay,
like,
okay,
so
yeah.
you're close there. And then
Maybe from my point of view, I might have seen you do it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very big.
And then at the end, he apologized. But his phrase when he showed up was, "Can I help you guys with something?"
Yeah, I remember that.
And Jocelyn, I think you said something to him.
I said, I don't know, man. What are you talking about? I didn't know you guys were fucking around with his car.
I wasn't fucking around with him.
Somebody was. You want to take a ride too?
Yeah, can I?
This one? Yeah.
You want to divvy up your stuff?
I got it. Yeah, so I didn't know what was going on with the guy. Did you get this, your hammock? What is it? Is it back here?
You got extra hammock by any chance?
Yeah, you can use hers or mine. Both of ours are 2 persons.
Sweet.
You good? Okay, I got 4 beers. Oh yeah, do you want to put that in here?
No, does it have room?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm only bringing the small ice pack. Or should I just bring the big one?
Okay.
Right?
You want to talk about what beers you got?
Brown, Highwire Brown.
Brown, Highwire Brown.
And Wicked
Brown.
Gosa.
Because
Brown.
that's right. So you look around for beer a lot, and then you always wind up getting that brown ale every time anyway.
Yeah.
Because you know it's legit.
Yeah. Okay. Ready, dude? Got everything, man? Yeah.
Nothing else?
Don't got anything else.
Is there a new word that you like?
Damn it, man. You're really trying here, huh, man?
Yeah. You got anything you want to
He's
add?
trying to get me to talk. It's like,
Sorry, we're like
he's
focused
like-
on
he's
like
like,
the task at hand right now.
any new words you like?
New word. Anything to talk about?
Do you? Either of you?
New words?
Yeah.
I thought there was one I
What was
learned
the
in
one?
class. I don't know if I like it, but it's sebaceous.
Oh
what's,
yeah.
What's it mean?
It's a gland that secretes oil onto your skin, like, and onto your hair. It's like in the connective, the epithelial tissue of your skin. It's like a gland that's how your hair gets greasy.
Yeah.
And the oil is called sebum.
Hey, so use both
Doesn't
those
that
words.
sound gross?
Use those in a sentence.
You sebaceous cunt.
Okay, that's an option. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I'm inappropriate. That's fine. Facetious. Thank you.
That's the word.
That's what I learned today.
What was the word? Coquettish? Coquettish?
Was that a
That
synonym?
was the word I was turning.
What is that?
Referencing like a flirtatious behavior, I guess.
Okay, so use it in the next sentence.
The way they used it in this particular passage was just like as if a woman was being coquettish. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly. So coquettish. I don't know. I don't want. I have to think about that one.
My cup.
Oh man, this is weird. Like smearing up something.
Just leave it on the outside of the car.
Out here.
Wash out with it.
There.
Yeah. Ready, set.
Go.
you.